This massive personal record clean and jerk from Giga Chad is crucial in understanding the real context for this upcoming World Weightlifting Championships. And I'll explain exactly why a little bit later on in this video. But first, Shi Zhiyong. The two-time Olympic champion, the world record holder in the snatch and total, Shi Zhiyong from China, the 73, is finally returning, not just to competition, but also to training and posting on Instagram. Now, he's certainly not in the shape that we've seen him in before, at least it doesn't look like that unless he is playing the master troll game. But it's nice to see him back in the gym. 160 kilos for some clean pulls, 180 clean pull, a 110 power clean and jerk. The jerk looks very rugged, I have to say, technically. And then 160 front squat, 170 snatch pull, a weight that he has in the past snatched. And then he sort of messes around with a 140 kilo power clean and jerk. Has a little bit of fun with the dumbbell rows, pretending to lift the big one, but it's actually the small one. So he's not in the shape of his life, but he's returning. He competes. He's actually in the competition. You have to say if you're going to be just weighing in, and he has not declared that he's weighing in. So he is actually competing at the upcoming World Championships. He's competing next week, so get your tickets now in case you haven't done that yet. It's at tv.weightliftinghouse.com. I'll put a link to that down below if you want to get one. Also, we do allow for individual session tickets. They're just $5, so if you don't want to watch the whole thing, but you want to watch Shi Zhiyong, you can do that. The Norwegian world champion, Solfrid Koanda, 87 kilo lifter, who is of course dropping down to the 81s, just hit a 118 snatch in training and a 150 clean and jerk. Now, the 118, that's a kilo more than she hit at the European Championships, which was her best ever snatch. Every single competition that she goes to, she adds between 2 to 3 kilos on each lift. She hit a 155 clean and jerk at the European Champs. And 118, 150 in training, looking very casual. So she's actually going to be staying in that 87 kilo category rather than dropping down to 81 because, well, she doesn't need to necessarily yet. She will drop down to the Olympic category when the time comes, but for now she's just going to take another easy World Championships title before making the full cut. Over to Romania, we have 49 kilo Mihaela Cambei, who just hit 90 kilos for a power clean and push press. Now, the frustrating thing about this is we kind of judge the ease of a power clean somewhat on the height, I suppose, but also on the speed, and particularly in the push press. Everyone can drive a bar quickly to here. It's just how quick that bit is. That shows how much power there actually is, how much velocity in the barbell. And because she does it in slow-mo, we don't really know. I get the feeling it is very easy, but a 90 kilo push press by a 49-year-old woman it's pretty mad. So she looks really strong. She's going to be competing in that 49 kilo category. She placed 4th last year. She won the European Championships this year, dominated them. It's not easy I'm certainly not putting money on this, but it's not easy making predictions, but I would actually put her up there for the bronze medal this year at the World Championships. I think she's going to come in behind the two Chinese lifters. But we'll see. We've got the two US lifters as well who are going to be fighting, and we've got a bunch of great athletes, but that's my prediction there. Okay, from one of the smallest to the largest, we haven't spoken about him yet. I'm going to break the ice with it. It's Lasha Talakhadze. Now, he is looking great in training. I mean, from strength lifts like a 310 kilo back squat triple, which is very impressive, all the way to, well, let's take a look. He did, a while ago, he did a 160 snatch up to 205 kilos. He did that on the 18th of August. The 205 looks very nice. There was a comment by a guy called Michael is on fire saying that the 205 looks easier than the 195. Well, Michael is on fire. I agree with you. I think Lasha is on fire with that 205. It looks very good. He did a 200 kilo snatch pull plus no foot snatch. That is just silly. That is ridiculous. Or as Max Lang once said to us, that's chilly milly. Which I don't know if that was a mispronunciation from Silly Billy or I don't know, but he referred to his training as Chili Milli, which I thought was very funny. But Lasha's 200 kilo pull plus no foot snatch is Chili Milli. Then he did a couple of snatches at 200 kilos. He did a single at 210. And then the thing that I think is always really exciting to see with him is a heavy clean and jerk. We know that he can snatch 210 every day. It's the 250s or more that mean a lot more, really, in terms of the total that we're going to get at this World Championships. The 250 that he just posted, I thought looked really good. The timing and the clean, that timing of the turnover with the bounce, just phenomenal. It's basically second to none from the supers. I think, and I don't know, I'd like to hear what you all think. I think he's stepping out that front foot further. You can't really see it on the I think it's 235 before. But on that 250, when you've got that side profile, he's really slamming that front foot forward. A lot more speed, it looks like, at that 250 range. So I think that's really exciting. Lasha obviously competes on the final day of the championships, which is the 17th of September. All right, let's stick with Georgia. We have two other lifters, just very quickly. We have Rezi Davitadze, the 89 kilo weightlifter who has been injured. We haven't really seen him for, I feel like, the last year, basically. He had surgery. He's been training again, not for long. And his first sort of heavy cleaner jerk, he hit 200 kilos. Now, he really took it for a walk. Like he comes off the platform, he's taken a few steps. He's always been quite forward in that jerk, like really having to take steps all in the front leg. And it's still clearly there in his technique. But it's just, I don't know, I quite like those sorts of videos because you see the lift and then the camera turns and then you see the reactions of Coach Asanidze and Lasha and the doctor, and, you know, it's kind of fun. Then we have Georgie Takidze, the 109 from Georgia. Very smooth 175 snatch. So the technique in these Georgians is still, you know, some of the best in the world. Also, I'm obviously going to talk about Tian Tao, Huanhua, and Li Dayin. Just give me a few more lifts if you wouldn't mind. So let's go to Colombia. 59 kilo Concepcion Usuga. Now, you might remember her as one of the athletes in the Colombian women video that I made a while ago. I think that was back in maybe March or April of this year. When I last saw her and filmed her, she wasn't able to snatch 100 kilos. She then tried it in competition, missed it also. She just hit it in training. I don't know if it's a change in hair color. I don't know if it's a change in training age, but she's able to snatch 100 kilos now and looked really good. So very excited to see how she does in the 59s. Her big problem has always been the fact that there's another Colombian 59 who's quite good. It's world champion Yenny Alvarez. She's also returning to competition at this world championships, and I believe she's got the biggest entry total in the category, which is amazing because that 59 category is stacked. I'll do like a run through of who's competing at some point soon. We just saw Yenny Alvarez also. I think she was doing 130 front squats for a few singles or a few triples or something like that. Some Bulgarian split squats. So good to know that even the best of the best kill themselves with awful Bulgarian split squats. Speaking of Bulgaria, Karlos Nasar, I don't believe is going to be lifting at this competition. We spoke to him, we caught up with him, he said it was 50-50, and then he posted some videos of him lifting. So a 200 kilo front squat single, 130 kilo power snatch. I think I mentioned this did I mention this in the last one? I don't know if I did actually. Wearing the Weightlifting House knee sleeves still, which is great to see. We've actually got him some knee sleeves with his name on, which we made, Karlos Nasar. So we're going to take those out to him for the World Championships. As well as the new belts, which, by the way, all of our leather belts are back in stock, and they are they are unbelievable. So go grab yourself a leather belt if you need a new belt. Of course, we've got soft ones as well. Okay, finally, let's talk about the Chinese contingency. Let's talk about the 89s. We've got Tian Tao, Huanhua, and Li Dayin. Let's start with Tian Tao. Now, he is the world record holder in the clean and jerk. It was Nino, then it's Karlos, and now it's Tian Tao. Tian Tao, who holds it at 222, he just posted a video of a 220 kilo clean and jerk, which he makes, and I think he makes it look pretty comfortably. Like the sort of comfort where you would bet that he's going to definitely make at least that at this World Championships. That looks kind of like a second attempt sort of lift. He's definitely doing a pre-dip dip, but he gets away with it. I don't know if that's because of who he is. I don't know if that's because they really just don't care about this rule anymore, but, you know, he's getting away with it. Then there's an image of him. He wouldn't let Yilin, Squat Jerk journalist, post the full video. He told him only post the picture. And we know that Tian Tao likes to joke and troll. It's 223 kilos and it's here. His knees are still flexed a little bit. He's not stood it up. So there was a point in time in which he had cleaned and tried to jerk. I actually think he probably did make it, but I'm not 100% sure. I think then another funny thing is the fact that, you know, we see him doing this, we see him front squatting like 290, 280, and then there's a video of him trying to deadlift 280, and I'm sure he's done it in the past, but he just couldn't do it. I think he budged it. He got it like an inch maybe, and that was it. So Tian Tao will be in the 89 kilo category at this World Championships. He's put in a big entry total. Very excited for that. Is he going to be able to beat Li Dayin? I'm not sure. Li Dayin just posted a video. It was a 170 kilo snatch in training. Videos from behind, looks very comfortable. A 200 kilo clean and jerk. And then Squat Jerk journalist released the 210 clean and jerk that went along with that 180 snatch that I posted and talked about last week that was hit at the Chinese Nationals or a Chinese test event. Apparently he totaled 390 in 3 attempts. So my assumption is that he snatched 170, then he jumped to 180, or maybe 175 opener, but 180 second attempt so that he could have tried on his third if he needed to, if he'd have missed it, then a 210 opener, and then he called it. 390 has been beaten by only 289 since this whole qualifying procedure began for this Olympics. Nino did 392. That doesn't even count. That wasn't even in this qualification procedure. That was too soon. Obviously, it counts the total, but so Nino did 392, Karlos did 395, and he did 396. But other than himself, only 2 people have beaten that 390 that he did in 3 lifts. I mean, the guy can snatch 182, and I think he can clean jerk 220. I think he's absolute danger. I really think he's danger. I think he's a 400 kilo total kind of 89, which is terrifying for the rest of the crew. Before we get to the rest of the crew, let's talk about Liu Huanhua, who I am thrilled has validated my prediction from a long time ago that he was going to go up to 102. It's a smart move from Team China, and look, I think he can win. He's actually my prediction for gold here. And hear me out, Lesman Predes is not going to be competing at this competition. Or if he is, he's injured. He's not going to be lifting properly. So other than him, he just has to beat... Who's he got to beat? Jin Song. There are a few good lifters, let's be fair. Reza Didar. But Miso Osona, But Liu Huanhua just posted a video of a 225 kilo clean, and the video cuts out just here. Now, if you pause this, right as he locks out, his feet are balanced. He's not overly on one foot. There's no lateral shift. And both elbows, crucially, are beautifully hyperextended. Like, there's no press out going to happen. So he makes that. He definitely makes that 225. He'd also jerked 230. I think we showed that last week. He's in good shape. So I think he can do 175 again for sure. Probably more now that he weighs more. Pushing up to 180 in the snatch. Pushing over 220 in the clean and jerk. I'm not sure many 102s are going over 400. I think he's one of the few who can. He might be the only one who can. No one has yet. So I'm calling Liu Huanhua for gold here. I think that's going to be absolutely crazy. Now, back down to the 89s. I said let's just finish off the squad. The other member of the 89 squad who we haven't referenced properly is Nino. He's keeping his cards close. Like, he's not showing anything right now. He's posting like 140 snatch pulls. He's that level of... I'm not letting you see anything that I'm doing. He posted a 170 clean and jerk. That's all we're going to get from the guy. We can talk about how it moved quickly. We can talk about what... We can't make a prediction of that. My assumption is that he's going to be in great shape. He was in good shape at the European Championships because we saw him clean and jerk 200 in the training hall, snatch 160 a few times, but his back was in pain, so they pulled him out of competition. I don't know if he was in beating Karlos Nasar type of shape, but he's had a few more months to train since then, and he's going to have to go up against Tian Tao, Li Dayin, Kedemar Vayania, Marin Robu. Let's not count that guy out. He's been lifting brilliantly recently. So Nino's going to have to do a lot. Now, let's stick with Team Italy, but I do want to show you this really cool trailer that we just made.
Wow. And he's so strong overhead. Can he hold it? Oh my word, He's got 3 seconds.
So sticking with Italy, Sergio Massida, 61, one of my favourite athletes in the world right now. I just love the way he moves. It's great technique. 61 kilo Sergio, 170 jerk double. Bear in mind, the world record is 175 by Li Dayin. 170 double is pretty good. His best clean and jerk is 162 as a 61. He actually did 165 as a light 67. I think it was at the Cuba Grand Prix a few months ago. But 162 is pretty great. Then he just hit a 160 in training, and it looked... He always makes his cleans look comfortable. What's crazy about Sergio? No belt, no knee sleeve, no wrist straps, like just naked. And he just moves so well. So 160 overhead like nothing, 170 jerk double also, very, very cool. Okay, just 2 more lifts to go, both from the US of A. We have CJ Cummings, 148 kilo snatch. Now, I know that CJ has snatched... What's he done in comp? I think he's done 155. but he hasn't done that in a while, and he's had time off since the Olympics. There was a great article on Inside the Games about his difficulties since the Olympics, which I recommend people read. I won't get into it now. So I'm just excited to see him back in any kind of, with any kind of happiness and enthusiasm for the sport. That's how I kind of feel like, just seeing him turn up to compete and enjoy it, just love it and just want to be there, not worrying too much about the greatest, what this is for, what he's trying to do with the Olympics, all these sorts of things. Just turning up and competing is great. So he's, he just made that 148. He looks good. I think he's going to be actually in the 89C session because he's gone up in weight and his numbers haven't reached up yet, but 89C, so he will be competing at this World Championships. Then the last athlete, Mattie Rogers. Now, I've been saying for a while now how Mattie's got a somewhat difficult time with this category because the 81s there's just so many savages in there. But she is continuing to prove that she can basically do anything. Like, she's getting stronger and stronger from competition to competition. Her training lifts look great. Her squats look great. Like, she's in good shape for this competition. She just posted a video. It was a 100 kilo. It was a snatch plus low hang, high pull plus low hang snatch at 100 kilos. I mean, that is a definition of playing with a weight. If you're doing that many reps and variations in a set without putting the bar down, you're toying. She just toyed with 100 kilos and it looked brilliant. So I'm particularly excited to see Mattie competing in that 81 kilo category. It's a stat category, but I think I worked this out the other day. She has, did I say this? Maybe I didn't say this on the podcast. Maybe I did. No, in fact, maybe I said it on the podcast, not the news show. She has won 13, I think it's 13, medals at a World Championships. Never a gold, mostly silver, and a few bronze. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. 13 medals. So who knows, maybe she's going to get a few more at this one. That is the end of this week's news show. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to watch the World Championships, you know what to do. It's tv.weightliftinghouse.com. I'm commentating with my boy, Max Ater. It's going to be amazing. We'll see you there.